The Good Buddies Anime Podcast is hosted by two rowdy, foul-mouthed American cowboys. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Good Buddies, what's up, and welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Show. I am your good buddy, Roger.
And I'm your good buddy, Brandon.
And Brandon, it is good to be back.
It is indeed. We took we'd been doing every other week. We took an extra week off because, we could use the break. We needed it.
I got a lot of things coming up. We had another flood in the store. I think I mentioned that in the last
Lord
episode.
have mercy. There's always more.
Yeah, it took a long time to get through. And it was just very hectic while I was training new people and stuff like that for the other store as well. It was just very hard. And we got a free comic book day coming up, which is also going to be kind of difficult. But, none of that stuff stops, and neither do the seasonal anime. So we had to get in here at least.
We back again.
To hear what Brandon has on his tippity top list.
And with that, I would like to welcome you all to the Good Buddies Mount Vibe Check. That's right. We're back again with a new season of anime releases. Comes a new season of Good Buddy Brandon's Mount Vibe Check, a.k.a. Good Buddy Brandon and Roger's Mount Vibe Check, a.k.a. Good Buddies Mount Vibe
I
Check.
actually won't be vibe checking anything, though, because I haven't watched the damn thing.
Well, I haven't watched any of these. So we got 30 new shows I'm looking at here. Minus one or two maybe that still aren't out. Or there was one, I think Alno Orchestra, that doesn't seem to be streaming anywhere. It's people doing some fan dubs and whatnot that are going up. But point is, we got 30 to look at here from the spring 2023 season.
Fucking 30.
Fucking 30. Not the most we've done. I think we had like 35 or 6 one month.
No.
But if you're not familiar, first of all, this is a vibe check. We're going off one episode. I am your good buddy Brandon. My name is your good buddy Brandon, and I have watched at least one episode of every one of these. I'll say I've watched exactly one episode of every one of these. And if you want to know how we're gonna rate them, well, imagine a beautiful snowy mountain peak, and the best of the best, they end up where, Roger?
And they end up in the tippity top.
They do indeed. And the ones that, they're pretty good. Not as good, but pretty good.
Hey, they're doing just fine.
They're doing just fine. The ones that are maybe a little lower down, we're not out, but they're not great.
They are cliffhangers. They are hanging on.
They are hanging on. And finally, two more here. We got the ones that, you could really just skip these boys. Those are the ones down there. They fell.
In the glacial chasm.
Indeed. And lastly, because what's worse, being bad or being boring, we got the ones that didn't even make it to the mountain.
They are snoozing at the lodge.
They are indeed. And that's how we do them. Now, I will say again, this is a vibe check. We're going off the one episode here. And your good buddy Brand's the one who's doing them. So if you disagree, that's okay. Just bask in the glory that I am wrong and know that you are right. And that's okay. It's okay for us to have different opinions.
I'm pretty sure it's the other way around. You are right and they are wrong.
Well, also
this is
that.
your list.
It is indeed my list. So deal with it, motherfuckers. If you'll pardon the language. I know you won't. Nor will you pardon when I put your favorite show in the glacial chasm. And that's okay. It's okay. But with that, Roger, why don't you go ahead and pick us out one to start with?
All right, man. Well, I haven't watched any of these, so I don't see a reason why we can't just go in order here.
Let's hit it, baby.
So up first, we got Alice Gear Aegis Expansion.
So Alice Gear Aegis Expansion, first of all, I will try to remember to specify what streaming service this is on. This one is on High Dive. And I will also point out that this one has an episode 1 and an episode 0. So episode 0 has the audacity. Roger, you're familiar, of course, with the concept of a beach episode.
Yeah, of course.
You got a show. You've gotten used to all these characters. Maybe, 10, 11, 12 episodes in.
Famously, the Hot Springs Tenrai.
Exactly.
Episode
you get you a beach episode. Yeah. You get to see,
Asia Clan's boobies.
Yeah, everybody's running around in their bikinis and shorts. It's a goofy, fun episode. So this one, episode 0, is the beach episode. So you don't know any of these characters, and it's just them being goofy. It's like, what was the point? I don't know. So episode 1, according to from the title and description, this is a show about a bunch of girls who use mech suits to fight aliens or something, and you see that for about 20 seconds at the very beginning, but that's it. From there on, it's a bunch of girls at their office. New girl shows up, wants to do that too. She has a crush on one of the girls. Lots of training montage. And then she's in, and then a bunch of government dudes show up and shut it down. They don't explain anything. You don't get a real great feel for the characters other than one or two of them. And they also don't explain why they do what they do, how they do it, or whether they're, you know, a private organization or sponsored by someone. You would think they'd be, you know, a government thing since they're flying around in space fighting aliens, apparently.
Yeah. Mech suits are not cheap. They got to be more expensive than like an F-16.
And they don't explain.
And those are not cheap.
They're not. And they don't explain jack nor shit about it. It's just cute girls doing cute shit, but none of the cool robot shit that you signed up for. It's a snoozer.
All right, man.
Off to a strong start.
Are snoozing at the lodge.
We are indeed.
All right. The Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure.
Do you think you can make out the rest of it?
Oh,
did I not put the rest on there? Oh, I did.
There's no more on there.
Okay, my bad. I knocked these out very quickly last night, and I didn't get to bed on time. So, the Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far is what that one's called. So, this one's a pretty cookie-cutter isekai. A young man in Japan is stabbed by a thug while defending two young girls, only to wake up in the 3-year-old body of Cain von Silford in a fantasy world of monsters and magic. He gets OP real quick after being blessed by several gods and blah, 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 blah. Decent animation. They do recycle some shots in the intro, which is not a great sign, I would say. Story's pretty meh. It's got a few laughs, but ultimately, I think it's just isekai mulch. You found a second snoozer. You are on a roll, baby.
Damn, dude.
I mean, you're going in order, so.
The Cafe Terrace and its Goddesses.
All right.
Now, this is sounding good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this is sounding good.
Is it really? All right.
I like cafes because there's usually coffee. And apparently, this one has a terrace and some goddesses.
All right. So, Hayate just inherited his grandmother's cafe, and upon arrival runs onto not 1, not 6, but 5 almost naked women who are living there. Now, they work there, did work for his grandma. She has passed away, so now technically they work for him because he owns the place currently. He wants to shut down this unprofitable establishment. They want to keep it open since they, you know, live there. Now, this is a straight-up harem anime, and harem animes like this always have some paper-thin story so they can get their characters in scandal situations. Honestly, this one kind of sucks. There's a lot of, like, borderline, and I would say not even borderline, kind of just actual assault in this one. Like, okay, one of the girls tries to blackmail dude by getting one of her co-workers drunk and sending her in to bone him, and then they're going to record it. Drunk girl is not in on this plan, so 1, you're trying to get this drunk girl to straight up molest this dude, and 2, record it, and it's just kind of gross. Also, it's like a whole thing where, like, the dude at the end of the episode is like, I've decided I am going to try to fix this because I'm good with money and you women are not. And it's like, that sounds bad. It's trash show. It's in the chasm.
It's in the chasm. Okay.
I didn't much care for it.
Well, you know what? Why don't you tell about my clueless first friend?
My clueless first friend. This one's kind of cute. Nishimura is a gloomy grade school girl who is teased and called the Grim Reaper by her classmates. She has no friends and has more or less accepted that she'll be an outcast for life. Enter Takada, a new kid in class who doesn't seem to realize that she's being bullied, but wants to be her friend because Grim Reaper girl sounds rad as fuck. What, they call you the Grim Reaper? Yeah, I mean, they're making fun of it, but they call you Grim Reaper. That's rad as hell. You probably shouldn't hang out with me, dude. What? Why not? Well, because they'll say y'all curse you. You got curse powers? That's badass. I want to hang out with you. I want to be a Grim Reaper. What the fuck? That's more or less how it goes. It's pretty cute, really simple art style. It's just super wholesome. It's cute. It's cute. It's doing just fine.
Okay. Well.
Simple but cute.
Yeah, we're doing just fine.
We got one.
You know what? Tell me about the dangers in my heart.
Buddy, I kind of don't want to.
I'm dying to know about this one.
So here's the thing.
I read the synopsis when I was flipping through things earlier.
Did you really?
Yeah, this one I was like, huh. I wonder what's going on here.
So here's another one from High Dive. It is the first of, I want to say like 3 or 4 shows that I'm dubbing this the season of weak dudes and big ladies. So I don't even really know where to start with this one, but so it's like a rom-com more or less, where this loner kid named Kitaro, who's very small and kind of frail looking, finds out this school hottie who's very tall and bodacious, whose name is Anna. Basically, it's like a very simple rom-com premise where like he finds out that she's quirky and weird in her own way and not just this perfect princess like everyone thinks. Haha, we've seen that before. But also that loner kid fantasizes about murdering her. Okay. Looks decent. Story, while fairly standard, has these little pockets of gross. Like literally at the beginning of it, he's like, she'd make a beautiful corpse and whoever murders her would own her body. It's like, hey, can you chill? And then it just pretends that didn't happen and has like a normal rom-com for the rest of the episode. And I'm like, what? No, what? Yeah, I didn't like it. Assuming that it like, you know, kind of gets over that shit, I'll put it in cliffhanger.
Oh, you're gonna let it hang.
I'm gonna let it hang.
So you're gonna give it a full 3.
You know, I'm kind of moving to a rule of 2 because there's a lot of these fucking shows.
All right, man. Well, tell me about Dead Mount Death Play.
Okay.
I hate this title.
It's not great. So we start this one in a fantasy world where the great hero does battle with a crazy necromancer. They sling spells and ideologies at each other as they do battle. And as the necromancer prepares the final spell, the hero swings his blade. And we don't see what happens. But then, a young boy, I shit you not, named Polka Shinomiya wakes up in our world. We got a son of reverse isekai. Apparently, he was just murdered by an assassin, but his wound is miraculously healed. That's right, folks. Reverse isekai, and you know, it's fine. It's just okay. Bit of whiplash with this one, because honestly, it goes from like these really grim, dark killing and gore bits to like goofy blob face comedies. Like there's literally a bit where I'll just spoil this, skip ahead, I guess, if you don't want to hear a spoiler. So dude is like just got assassinated, and the assassin, seeing that he didn't die, comes after him again. So there's a bit where like he ends up managing to kill this assassin, and then is like, now you will be my servant, because it's the necromancer, it's not the hero that got reincarnated. He's like, you will be my servant, and he's like, rise now, and he's like, hey, and it goes all like blobby, like poking at her body. Oh shit, she's really dead. Like, it's kind of weird to go to such a goofy comedy bit after you just brutally murdered someone. I don't know. I've sat through worst, but I think it's a cliffhanger as well.
Cliffhanger.
I'm not.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Cafe Terrace was in the chasm, buddy.
Oh, was it? Where'd I put it?
You put it in the snooze.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just now noticed that.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my notes. Didn't even see. You see it, kids? We almost fucked up, but we got there. All right, what's next?
All right, dude. A Galaxy Next Door.
A Galaxy Next Door. Find it in my notes. Find it in my notes. Okay. So this one focuses on Ichiro, who is a mangaka. He makes mangas, and who is taking care of his younger siblings after his father passed away. Struggling to make deadlines, he gets help from Shiori, a mysterious woman who happens to be a terrific artist and even a fan of his work. Now, up to this point, show's pretty decent. You know, it's chill, kind of sweet. And then it gets really weird, because they pass out after an all-night session of making these mangas and shit. He wakes up, sees that she's rolled over like on the floor where she was working, and there's something sticking out of her back. He's like, oh god, she stabbed herself with a pin. He goes to grab it. It's not a pin, it's her stinger. Because apparently she's some kind of alien. She's the princess of the Star People. And by pricking his finger on her stinger, that's apparently something. Touching the stinger is something that only like someone very close to you does. It's basically he just proposed.
It's the penis.
No, I think she's like
it's her
bee
penis.
person. You know, bees.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's her penis.
It's not. Well, maybe it's coming out of the back of her though. This could be cute. It's definitely weird.
It's her back penis.
Yeah. Definitely a weird show. The art, it's got a really cute art style. I'm into it. It's getting a pass for now. I think it's doing fine.
Doing just fine. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Lady
definitely
with the back penis.
Yeah, we'll do it.
You know what? If you get a penis on your back, that's okay.
Hey, that's okay. It's okay to have a penis on your back.
You just, you know, you should only let people that you're really close to touch it.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody should just go.
Be careful with who
around.
You share your back penis with.
Yeah.
Folks.
Don't just go touching people's penises, okay? Heavenly Delusion.
Delusion.
Is that
That's definitely, I definitely typed it wrong. Look, I was in a rush. I'm sorry.
Heavenly Delusion. Tell me about it, baby.
It's Heavenly Delusion. Also, if you're looking it up, you're not going to look up Heavenly Delusion anyway, because it's on. So this is one that was licensed by Disney. It is going up on Hulu, though, so you can watch it on Hulu. Yeah. So if you got Hulu, you can watch this one, but you're not going to look up Heavenly Delusion. You're going to look up the Japanese title, Tengoku Daimakyo. So if you type in Tengoku, you should be able to find it pretty good. So this one, you know, if you watch Last of Us and thought, I want some more stuff like that, you're in not a bad place with this one. So
really?
We got a couple of teens, Maru and his quote-unquote bodyguard, who he just calls Sis, traveling through a ruined city, scavenging for food and fighting off other survivors after society seems to have fallen in quote-unquote the collapse. Meanwhile, we also cut between them and a group of young students who appear to live in safety in seclusion, attending a school in a big bubble that's just cut off from the rest of the world. Seems like a decent supplementation if you want to, you know, some more Last of Us into the world kind of shit, whatnot.
But there are no mushroom people.
Hang on. Well, no mushroom people, but the art's pretty good. Action scenes are very fluid. I really like the animation on this one. There's clearly a lot that isn't being told after this first episode. What is up with that school we see? The two kids are looking for something they call heaven. What is that? And what's with the big ass monsters that are apparently roaming the streets at night? We found our first tippity top. I really like this one.
This one does sound cool.
I think you'd like it, man. Check it out on Hulu.
Yeah. I definitely will check this one out.
It's pretty sweet, and it's not Delusion, it's Delusion. I fucked up. Sorry. You know, I got to bed at about 2 a.m. trying to finish this tier list.
We did play some board games last night.
Played some board games. Me and Roger absolutely fucked over everyone.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And it was great, baby, because the good buddies are for life, baby.
All right, man.
Hell yeah.
Tell me about Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
This one I've actually had a couple people come into the store and kind of mention before.
You know, I don't hate it. Gabi Maru is an incredibly skilled shinobi who has been captured after being betrayed by his cohorts. He claims that he's ready for death, that he has no attachments. However, after surviving several execution attempts and telling a story to a scribe woman named Yamada, he discovers he does in fact have something worth living for. He is then granted a pardon under one condition: that he travel to a mysterious island filled with otherworldly dangers to retrieve an elixir of immortality for the Shogun. It's dripping in style. It is hyper violent. I think it could be good, and it's a fucking mappa, so you know it's gonna look pretty sweet. I got it into doing just fine.
Doing just fine. Is it at the top?
I think it's probably the closest thing to yeah.
Okay.
Right now. We'll see what else we get.
Okay. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
You sure did, bud. All right. So I'm honestly torn on this one because there's some stuff it does that I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then okay. So Yuya is an overweight young man who's been bullied and shamed his entire life. Just always being bullied and shamed. Relatable. By his classmates, by strangers, even by his own family, who have disowned him after his kindly grandpa left Yuya everything he had after he passed. Now, of course, the kicker is that everything his grandpa left him includes a secret door in his house that leads to a secret room that contains an even more secret door that leads to another world. Loads of ultimate level gear, and a real easy way to farm experience. I really want to cheer for this guy. He's a fat kid. There's no way around that. Cool. Not very often you get those, and they're not, you know, a complete joke in an anime. He's constantly getting bullied and stuff. You feel bad for him. He is just always getting kicked in the face and dick and face again. I mean, yeah. But see, the thing is, the show loses all credibility for that because after the first time he levels up, he suddenly grows 6 inches taller and develops a serious case of sick abs overnight, like fucking Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 1. Like, just immediately like, oh, he's skinny and tall now and good looking. It's like, oh, okay. What really bummed me out about that is that we had another similar show to this, The Fruit of Evolution, that did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Fat stinky kid gets ripped after he levels
up.
up.
Fat stinky kid, yeah.
Same writer. Dude's got a type.
Oh, man.
So there you go. It looks decent. Some of the actiony bits are a little wonky. Like, there was one in particular where he does like a backflip kick that like they just had a picture of him with motion blur and they kind of just spun it, and I was like, all right. in the end, it's kind of meh. I mean, why couldn't they just let the fat boy be fat and also cool? But nope. I got it in cliffhanger. I'm not completely out.
Cliffhanger, okay. Now, do you think the writer? Do you think he was the fat kid himself that dreamed of being somebody else?
Like, that's the thing is like.
Or do you think he's more of like the you ever seen like the movie Heavyweights?
Oh wow.
Is he the Ben Stiller? Is it Ben Stiller in there?
I don't think I've actually seen Heavyweights.
Yeah, so there's like it's like the health counselor for the fat kids. Trying to give them motivation, but he's actually kind of fucking evil.
I don't know that one.
Or is he just a joker that likes to make fun of fat people?
There's really no telling, but I mean, on one level, I get it as like a form of wish fulfillment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I definitely, when I was like younger and just a fat kid in school,
man.
I'd be like, man, it sure would be cool if I woke up with abs like Tobey Maguire, but
yeah, it sure would be cool if I was hot to all these people.
if I was just super sexy out of nowhere,
Now every day I
great.
wake up, it sure would be cool if some of my hair came back.
Can I tell you the dumbest? Wow. Can I tell you the dumbest fucking shit about that show? Is that when he discovers the room, it's him standing in his bathroom and he punches the mirror and breaks it. And then he punches the wall, and that's when he discovers the false wall that contains the secret room that contains the secret door. Okay. He then, after leveling up, grows abs. He's like, oh, my body feels weird. And because he broke the mirror, he doesn't realize that he's changed until he goes back to school at the end of summer. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? You didn't realize you grew like 6 inches, my dude? Oh, my body feels weird. You can see your dick now. What are you talking about? That shit's just silly. All right. Anyway, next show.
All right, man. All right. I actually kind of was curious about this one when I saw it on High Dive. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that reminds me kind of Call of the Night, the way that it read.
I like this one.
And I was looking at the still image, and I could tell it looked like they were trying to do stuff with like the night sky or whatever the night setting. So we'll see how it compares. Insomniacs After School.
All right. So it does remind me a bit of Call of the Night, but way more chill. So 2 teens suffering from insomnia find each other and form a friendship while snoozing in the school's abandoned observatory. Nakami is a joyless young man who assumes no one could relate to his issues, and Isaki is this close to being a manic pixie dream girl. Now, assuming that the show can establish her as more than just a force to pull him out of sadness and doesn't drop the ball with their shared disorder, this could be a fucking huge hit. It really could be. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it, and after watching this episode, baby, this has tragedy written all the fuck over it. Like, I think it's just from that first episode, I'm like, oh, this is gonna end sad, I feel like. But I really do like it after 1. I really enjoy these characters. I struggled between Tippity Top and Doing Just Fine. I think it's the highest Doing Just Fine. The absolute highest.
Okay, absolute highest. Woo!
Careful now. Look at you highlighting stuff.
Doing Just Fine and unhighlighted.
There you go. But yeah, I do enjoy that show a lot.
All right, man. Well, tell me about how much you enjoy Kamikatsu, working for a god in a godless world.
All right, gotta find this one in my notes. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. All right, so you'll notice I tried to remember the people's names this time because I'm always just like, there's some guy and he does a thing. All right, so Yukito has had a shitty life. Not unlike that other dude we saw. No friends, no goals, and a cult leader father who just killed him in a ritual to his god, Mitama. That's right. He just got murdered by his own daddy in a weird ritual to his cult god, and our boy gets isekai'd to a world with no monsters. They have like weird beasts. They're not technically monsters. They don't call them monsters. Whatever. No magic, and no concept of gods or spirituality, which honestly suits our boy just fine after being raised by a literal cult. But when tragedy strikes, no big spoilers if you want to check it out, but tragedy does strike, Yukito finds himself calling to the god his father had always talked about, and perhaps shockingly, he gets a response. Now this right here is some goofy ass clown shoes slapstick shit that it's almost refreshing to have an isekai that just gives 0 fucks. It is crass, it is rude, it goes from LOL, this villager girl. The thing is, it is a little bit whiplashly because it goes from haha, the villager girl woke him up from unconsciousness when she found him floating in the river by jerking his willy, haha, isn't that funny, ha ha ha, to, you know, sometimes the state requires its citizens to commit suicide. Yeah. Honestly, I don't love this show. But it's so fucking weird. You know me, I love sad shit and weird shit. So I'm gonna give it at least another episode. I've got it in cliffhanger.
It is a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's a fucking
Bam.
weird one, dog. It's fucking strange.
Okay, well, it does that is weird.
It's weird as fuck, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could really recommend it. Man, I'll give it another episode, but yeah, it's weird as fuck, so I'm in for a little bit.
All right, man, why don't you tell me about Kizuna no Alele?
I don't even know if that's how you say it. I don't know if they ever actually say that third word there. So Miracle, that's right, Miracle, is a girl who wants to be a VTuber. After her idol, Kizuna Ai, who is a real VTuber who you may or may not know.
This might be one of those Josh animes.
Maybe. Our good buddy Josh might be into this one. After Kizuna Ai mysteriously vanished from the virtual world 5 years ago. Now, Miracle is attending a school for VTubers, I shit you not, and performs musical numbers with one of those 3D rigs, and it's kind of nothing. It's kind of just nothing. Really, it just feels like a subpar idol anime with a VTuber gimmick, and the big issue here is that the characters, mostly our main girl, Miracle, are just not very interesting. Super uninteresting. For the record, I only know that one clip of Azuna Ai saying "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you" after, while she was playing, I think it was Resident Evil or something. You may have seen this clip.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's this little brown hair girl. She got a little bow on her hair, and she's like "fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." She's just saying "fuck you" over again. Just pretty funny. Pretty funny to watch, but I don't know anything else about her. So if you're a fan of Kizuna Ai, hey, maybe you'll be into this one. I'm fucking not.
Yeah.
Kind of boring, snoozer.
Most of the VTuber stuff is the stuff that good buddy Josh sent on the Discord.
Yeah, and he does have all the good clips.
Yeah, sometimes there are some funny ones.
Oh yeah, but it's a snoozer.
All right, it's snoozing at the lodge.
Yeah, dog.
Okay. Well, sometimes you'll be snoozing when you're dead. So let's hear about the legendary hero is dead.
The legendary hero is in fact dead. So this is a fantasy series where Sion, the legendary hero, falls into a basic ass pit trap made by a radish farmer and fucking dies. The radish farmer, Toka, covers it up, but the hero's necromancer partner decides that, well, since Toka killed the hero, he must be strong enough to be the new hero. So she puts his soul into the hero's zombified body. Toka, well, he's a classic pervy hero who's obsessed with thighs. But while the pervy heroes usually have some redeeming qualities so that you want to root for him, this guy just kind of sucks all around. Like, literally the first thing he does upon waking up in the hero's body is trick his childhood friend into stripping for him because he knows that she has a big crush on the hero. I do not care about this shitty man, but if you want to see some anime thighs, I guess you could do worse. I got it in the chasm.
Okay. It is in the chasm. All right, man. Magic Destroyers. This one, man. So, in a world where otaku culture has been outlawed and a nerdy resistance group is fighting back in the war-torn streets of Akihabara, you got swirly glasses Otaku Hero, that's his name, that's what they call him. Maybe it's a code name, I guess. Yeah, it's gotta be. Otaku Hero. And then you got Anarchy-chan, who's like a punk magical girl. Blah, 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 blah. The show really, a lot of the shit it was doing felt like you were trying to make a Fooly Cooly. You were trying to make a Gurren Lagann. You were trying to make one of those goofy LOL random trigger animes and also have all the over-the-top action. And I don't know how they got so many explosions into this show and made it so fucking boring. I think it's mostly because the bland palette is all browns and grays, any shooter game from the mid-2000s. And occasionally there's a streak of red in there from Dude's scarf or Anarchy Chan's hair, but mostly it's just real bland to look at. The jokes aren't that funny, and I don't know what else to call them. There's nerd concentration camps, and it's kind of gross. That's a big old skip. I got it in the chasm. Chasm it is. All right. The Marginal Service.
Okay, so this is another one that I feel like it should be more interesting than I found it. So after an arrest goes wrong, leaving the perp and his partner dead, police officer Brian Night Raider, that's right, Brian Night Raider, is forced to hand in his badge. Not his gun, apparently. He kept that. Looking for work.
Why would you hand that in?
Right.
In America, we don't.
Shit. That's the joke, right? The cop shows, hand in your gun in your bed, you have a loose cannon. This guy managed to keep his, they make a joke about it later. So, looking for work, he ends up at the Marginal Service, a group that hunts down borderlanders, which are like cryptids and monsters and shit. It manages to be kind of boring despite all the wild shit going on. The members of the Marginal Service are a bunch of eccentrics, including a bored doctor, an American bodybuilder, and what appears to be a rabid squirrel. And the climax of the episode features all those characters showing up in these Power Ranger-style color-coded outfits with construction helmets and machine guns, while the fucking Super Smash Brothers announcer reads off their names. It's kind of wild. Like, literally, I don't remember any of their names, but it'd be like, "Good buddy Roger," like when it cuts to this one guy, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. It's nuts. Weirdly, it has this whole immigration rights thing going on in the periphery, and despite part of the episode 1 info dump including a bit about how borderlanders are supposed to have rights like any other citizens, these fools just straight up blast one with no hesitation at the end of that first episode. So I don't know what they're trying to say. I got it as a cliffhanger.
Okay. It does sound interesting. It sounds like there's a lot of good stuff in there, or that could be good.
I feel like it's like a not great execution, but yeah, there you go.
All right, man. Here's one that I actually am very curious about because I like the title.
All right.
Mashal? Magic and Muscles.
All right. So this one's a fantasy comedy series where
I get it.
Everyone in the world has the ability to use magic except one young man named Mash. He has been trained by his father to be strong as fuck to make up for not having magic. It gets a bit dark when we find out why no one else we see doesn't have magic. Yikes. It's basically like magic eugenics. They're like, cause like, okay, so like Mashal gets found out because he goes into town despite his father always telling him not to. And then the cops are like, hey, that guy doesn't have the, what is it? They call him unmarked because everybody has like the Dr. Stone dark lines on their face somewhere except him, because apparently that's what means you have magic. So he's like, hey, we're supposed to kill people without magic. That way we don't dilute our bloodlines or something. I'm like, this is fucking gross. But then it gets right back to goofs when Mash just whips a bunch of those magic police officers' asses. Okay. Like literally dude's like throwing magic spells at him and he's like just slapping them away because he's so strong. And then he shoots another magic spell. So he starts juggling the fireballs because he's so strong. I don't know, man. It's a little all over the place. Dude ends up enrolling in a magic school for some reason at the end. I mean, I know why. It's just like really silly. It has a few decent jokes, but there's not a whole lot here that isn't like that's like super new or captivating. You could do a lot worse, but I've got it as a cliffhanger. There's worse shows. I don't hate this one. And you know what? I'd say it's the top of the cliffhangers so far.
Top of the cliffhangers. Okay. I'm still kind of interested in it.
Give it a shot. I think, the character Mash is like kind of funny. He's just like super chill and low key, and all he wants to do is, hang out with his dad and eat cream puffs. And also he's ripped as all fuck.
Nice, man.
He's kind of got that Mob Psycho haircut.
Yeah, that's what I thought whenever I saw the thumbnail. That's the word I'm looking for.
You could do worse.
All right, man. My home hero.
All right, so Tetsuo is a middle-aged salaryman who just found out his daughter is getting slapped around by her shitty boyfriend. In a fit of passionate rage, he attacks the bastard, who, as it turns out, is a Yakuza thug. And thus, our protagonist is dragged into the criminal underworld, pitted against the dregs of society as he attempts with all his might to protect his family. Now, Normal Man Becomes Killer stories have been done, and they have been done better. This is not Death Wish. This man is not Charles Bronson. Hell, he ain't even Gran Torino. And if the played out story and sporadic pacing weren't enough, it also just really doesn't look good. It looks bad. I got it in the chasm.
In the chasm it goes.
Didn't much care for it.
Boop. Okay. My one-hit kill sister. I can only imagine how you feel about this one.
Well, we found the second, I think only the second show that features a weak little dude getting saved by a strong lady. So Asahi just got isekai'd after pushing a child from out in front of a car Urameshi style. Hell yeah, love a good callback. Now, in a world of swords and magic, he uses all the fantasy tropes he's learned from video games and isekai manga. He's literally walking through the streets like, wow, this is just like the Wisher 3 or Skyrim. Haha, like his American video games, haha. He's using everything he knows from those in order to procure equipment and join a guild. Now here's the problem. His stats suck and he's super weak. Solution, his big sister shows up and is crazy broken OP to save him from danger. Problem, his sister is obsessed with him to the point of incestuous harassment every few minutes. Solution, the show does not see that as a problem. That's kind of rad, actually. Yeah, it's in the chasm. Didn't much care for that.
We're talking chromo.
We're talking full chromo. Yes, yeah. Chromo on this
one.
We're pro chromo on that one, and I can do without it. Thank you.
All right. Opus Colors, my guy.
Opus Colors.
Now I do like the name of this one.
It's got a fun name. Again, this is one that I would say really cool concept, really poor execution. It's basically an idol boy show, but with a twist. Perception art is a new and emerging art form in creating an intricate and beautiful VR set pieces, and thus we watch a bunch of handsome boys with different color hair making music videos while they sing. The animation's just super stiff. There's some stuff in here like, so you got an artist and a what do they call them? A grader who like runs the tech. They're the technician basically. It's like a whole thing where like this guy was friends with this other guy as a kid and he's a grader and he only sees the technical aspect. And the other guy is the artist, so he's all about like, I don't care. It was just real boring, man. There's just too many boys to remember, much less relate to, and it's a snoozer.
Snoozing at the lodge.
Yeah.
And up their size.
It is a cool concept, but it just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
You know what, man? I'm about to go out of order here because I keep looking at this one, and I saw the thumbnail earlier, and it gave me real Goku doll vibes. So I want to hear Rakuto's Bad Girls.
All right.
What you gonna do?
See, when I saw Rakuto's Bad Girls, I thought bad girls talking about them bad girls. That's a Donna Summer hit. You don't know nothing about that. So once again, Rakuto is a weak little guy who is constantly getting shit on by school delinquents. However, a mysterious scroll that was left to him by his grandfather grants him an amazing power. Suddenly, all the bad girls love him. Ooh.
Oh no, this is
all
actually better than I thought, and I do kind of.
All the bad girls.
I actually kind of like this now.
Those delinquent ladies, they're into it, man.
You said boom,
so sexy.
Flip it.
Boom, flip it. So here's the thing, art style is not great, whatever. More importantly, bad girls love him, and the baddest of them all, Rana, that's her in the thumbnail. She has taken notice. Really goofy premise, pretty meh art style, but you know I love a strong girl, and Rana is here to whip a little ass. Honestly, it's kind of below average, but I'm in it for at least one or two more. So okay. I got it as a cliffhanger, but I don't hate it. Okay. You know, put it up there next to Mashal. I don't know if it's above Mashal, but it's next to Mashal.
I'm gonna I think I will give this one a try.
Give it a shot.
Whenever I read the synopsis for it, I thought it sounded kind of like he was turning into the back girls.
No.
What go? That's when I got the Goku doll vibes. I must have just misread it.
Maybe.
Otaku Elf.
All right, so this one is kind of fun.
This little character's cute right here.
Oh yeah. So looking through the notes, gotta find this thing. All right, this one's also on High Dive. 16-year-old can't talk.
What you gonna do?
High Dive. 16-year-old Koito is the latest caretaker for Elda, a more than 600-year-old elf who was reverse isekai'd centuries ago and now serves as a living deity at the Takamine Shrine. Elda is beautiful, ageless, and a full-on shut-in who fears leaving the shrine, and all she wants to do is play her video games and watch her animes and read her fucking mangas. Literally, the first thing you see in this one is old Koito getting ready. She's like woke up, she's getting dressed and stuff, and a little spirit thing comes by and summons her. Koito, come to me. And she goes and she opens the door to the beautiful elf, and she says, "What do you need, my mistress?" She says, "Present to me a Red Bull." What? I was up all night watching anime. I got it. Come on, wake me up. What the fuck? It's real fucking goofy. well animated. It's got a few pretty decent jokes. It's worth a watch if you want a slice of life with an otherworldly twist. I got it as a just fine.
All right, man. It's
kind of cute.
It's doing just
kinda
fine.
Cute.
Now I like this title here, Skip and Loafer.
Skip and or Loafer. All right.
Maybe it's because we had Skip and Chet.
Oh no.
Skip and Loafer here.
They're on a different channel, man. We can't talk about them. Mitsumi is a small town girl who just moved to Tokyo to attend high school. She's a bit awkward, but she's very studious, absolutely brilliant, and she has her entire life planned out, from which train she's going to ride, to which college she's going to attend, to where she's going to have her ashes scattered when she fucking dies. But of course, everything goes sideways day one when she gets lost on the way to the entrance ceremony. Luckily, she runs into Sasuke, I can't say this fucking word. A lackadaisical hottie who happens to be in the same class as her. It's super cute. It's got a pretty unique art style. I do enjoy the way it looks. It's worth a look, and it does have some pretty decent laughs. I got this one also as a doing just fine.
Doing just fine. Skip and Loafer.
Skip and Loafer.
All right, man. Here's a title that I don't like.
Yep.
Summoned to another world for the second time.
Indeed, indeed.
Sometimes it do be like that in these animes, you know.
All right. So, Yuki and his entire class just got isekai'd when a summoning circle appeared in the classroom. They are conscripted as heroes to fight a battle against the demon army, and they will be trained by these badass heroes, this like badass lady who's like, yeah, I'm gonna train you, and this like dude who's like, yeah, we're gonna train you. And then the kicker, of course, is that Yuki, he was that hero from 5 years ago, it turns out, who got summoned originally. Yeah, that was him. This is the second time it's happened, so he already knows what's up. This being the dude's second time around isn't enough to freshen up a kind of stale story. And just for fun, it turns out the badass guy and gal, they were part of his adventuring party before. And the badass girl doesn't recognize him as first, but then you know how she does recognize him is she basically is like, hey, get back to work, man. And he's like, I don't fucking feel like it, fuck you. And she's like, I'll beat your ass then. And she like lunges at him, and he dodges out of the way and slaps her on the ass. And she hits the ground. She's like, oh my God, it's you. And then she wants him to sit on her like a chair. So yeah, it's a real stinker. I got it in the chasm. I don't like this.
I
didn't see that shit coming.
He wants him to sit on her like a chair.
Literally, she's on all fours, and he sits on her, and she's like, wow, you lost weight, huh? He's like, it's really weird that you can tell.
Oh my God, dude. Now, I like this name right here. Too Cute Crisis.
Okay. So the Azathoth Empire has traveled to Earth and is debating whether or not to wipe all life from the planet to take its water and minerals, or to, let it be, whatever. Liza Luna wants...
What is this one streaming on?
This one is also on High Dive, I believe. I actually didn't mark this one. I absolutely dropped the ball on that. My bad. I'm pretty sure it's on High Dive, though, yes. So Liza Luna is our main character here. She wants to go ahead and just clean house, drop the fucking toxic cloud, wipe them all out. Let's get the water and minerals. But first, they send her on a recon mission to establish if anything there is worth saving. And she almost immediately ends up in a cat cafe, and she is immediately smitten, as no animal in the rest of the fucking universe is as cute as a goddamn cat, it turns out. Really simple premise. The art is okay. Story-wise, it's her like trying to keep the higher ups from realizing that she's wasting all her time with these cute fucking animals. But it's really all just an excuse to throw tons of kawaii as fuck creatures your way. It's pretty fucking thin story-wise. If you like watching a bunch of animal videos on YouTube, then you probably got something here, because it's pretty cute. I don't think it's boring enough to be snoozing at the lodge. I don't think it's good enough to make it to doing just fine, so I dropped it in a cliffhanger. Okay. But it's decent, honestly. Oh, there you go, dropping shit again. Yeah, you can put it up there.
Okay. Now, Brandon, I have been dying to know the answer to this question.
God, here we fucking go.
Why Relena ended up in the Duke's mansion?
Okay.
Why did she end up in the Duke's mansion?
Well, it's an isekai. She got isekai'd. So a woman is pushed from a building and gets isekai'd into the world of a novel she read. As Raeliana, she is not the protagonist, but a side character who she knows is gonna get murdered by her fiance so that he can take over her family's business. With her knowledge of the story, she hopes to survive by aligning herself with Duke Windknight. What a fucking name on this guy. Duke Windknight, the handsome and mysterious protagonist. It's got a pretty simple setup as a premiere. Wants to get you invested in the mystery surrounding the Duke. It was just a little too slow. It didn't do enough to really get me going. I got it snoozing.
It's snoozing at the lodge.
Yeah, it's snoozing.
All right, man. World Die Star.
World Die Star. Okay. This one centers around FalKKone, who's a small town girl who wants to be an actor. Not just any actor, but the best actor. The World Die Star, in fact. Together with her best friend / coach, Shizuka, she heads to the Serious Theater for an audition. So, the art is a little bit generic, but the animation when we see these girls performing in like their little scenes and shit, actually fucking love it a lot. That's when they turn it on. Cause like it's not like they go like super fluid and like everything's moving around. There's no swinging stuff. It's like you're watching a play, but like first of all, a lot of care seems to have gone into the actual practice of acting, little movements and flourishes and stuff. The animation, it backs that up with these little movements as they react to each other. You know, usually you're watching a show, and like if there's more than one character on screen, one of them is talking or moving while the other is either not there at all or just staying still until it's their turn. Here, like this character's walking around the other one, and as they're going, like she's looking and like actually doing like a fucking actor on stage would. It actually looks really good in a way that I haven't seen a lot of shows ever really do, and it seems so fucking simple, but damn, it's good. I really do like this one, but there's a twist at the end of this episode.
What the twist?
I don't really want to spoil it. It makes me a little bit uneasy. I will say that it's either moving in the direction of like kind of a paranormal tilt, or I guess like a dissociative disorder tilt. I don't know how to describe this really without just spoiling everything, but the first option there, if it's like a ghost thing, is kind of whatever. The second one, this is really going to depend on how delicately they can handle that. I've got this one also as a cliffhanger. It's good, but it is also a cliffhanger.
It's hanging on the cliff.
I don't feel safe putting it and doing just fine, but I'll give it another episode or two.
All right, man. Well, let me tell you, My Love Story is actually a great anime that actually handles larger characters very well.
Sure.
And it's one of my favorite rom-coms, but I've never heard of My Love Story with Yamato-kun at level 999, Brandon, so why don't you tell me about that?
I think you would like this one.
Okay.
I'm just going to describe kind of what's going on. And so Akane is a college student. Damn, they're basically adults. Whose boyfriend just dumped her. Who just got dumped by her boyfriend for a girl that he met in an MMO. The same MMO, in fact, that he got her into not too long ago. She ends up at a real-life event for the game where she runs into Yamada, a pro who she happens to have already met in this game, and who turns out to be super hot. He's also super dull, and more interested in games and girls. But hey, it's a fucking rom-com. And Madhouse is doing this one, so you can expect some decent quality. And this one really did have me fucking busting out laughing a few times. It got me, man. It's got good jokes.
Okay, so it's funny.
It kind of reminds me of it's a little bit Wotakoi. It's a little bit MMO junkie.
Okay.
And, without a creator who turned out to be a closet Nazi. So that's good.
Yeah.
A lot of fun if you can deal with a male lead that's so blunt that he comes off as rude half the time. I rather enjoyed this one, and you know what? We found our second tippity top.
Oh my God.
I really liked it.
I did not see it coming.
I really liked it. It's cute.
All right, man. Well, tell me how cute Yuri is my job is.
This one's a bit of a fucking... okay, so this one focuses on Hime. She has spent her life cultivating a very specific image. One that has everyone from her classmates to randos on the street convinced that she's a perfect little kawaii angel. In fact, that's all just an act she puts on in hopes of bagging a billionaire so she never has to work. But you know what happens? By chance, she bumps into someone and ends up being roped into a job at a theme cafe. A cafe whose theme is that all the workers are playing the roles of student in a girls' academy that's straight out of a fucking shoujo manga. The art is fine. The characters seem pretty cool. The story, I rather enjoy the story here. So the girl's whole life is an act, right? Now she's in an environment where everyone is constantly acting, and seeing how their personalities change in between like closing time and when they're on is fucking fascinating. Particularly, there's a kindly big sis type character who apparently just fucking hates Hime after one day. The only thing for me is watching our girl, who should be amazing at this, fuck up spectacularly in the first episode. She kind of had my cringe senses going off, because she walks up like she's got to do a scene in front of people. Oh, introduce yourself. And I'm like, you about to fuck up so bad. And she does. And a little cringe for me. You know I can't handle that shit. But I don't hate it. I got it as doing just fine.
It's doing just fine. Sounds interesting. All right, man.
I did specific. If you're wondering why all the rest of those were in alphabetical order, I asked Roger to do this one last because holy shit.
Oshi no Ko.
All right. So first of all,
yeah, couple backstory on here.
Couple notes here. I really feel like if you have 90 minutes to spare, because this premiere is not an episode, it's a fucking movie. If you have the time, I really think you should turn this off and go watch this blind. Like, I really enjoyed this one. I'm telling you, I thought it was good. Watch it without knowing anything if you can. I'm now going to tell you about it a little bit. The way I tell you about it is I didn't realize this was 90 minutes long until I was about 27 minutes in. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote after that 27 minutes, and then I'm going to tell you what happened after I watched the rest of it, all right?
Okay.
So, here we go. First episode is actually a movie, and it's bonkers. I didn't realize how long it was until about half an hour in, but here's what we got. Goru is a doctor who became a fan of an idol named Ai Hoshino after a young, now sadly deceased, patient shared her love of that singer with him a few years ago. He then gets a big ol' shock when Ai shows up at his hospital very pregnant. And an even bigger shock when he gets murdered by a crazy stalker fan the night Ai goes into labor. He then, of course, haha, wouldn't you fucking know it, gets reincarnated as one of Ai's twin children, retaining all his memories. And I'll bet good money that somehow the girl who got him into Ai's music in the first place is the other twin in the situation. Not bad, honestly. There's a few bits that make me uncomfortable. Let's talk about this. Goto's deceased patient was 12 in the flashback we see where she confesses her love to him. Now, obviously, he says no because he's an adult and that's not cool. He then says, well, I'll consider it once you're 16. That's apparently the age of consent in Japan, and that's literal grooming, my dude. Not great. If I'm right about that twin also being like, that girl also being the other twin in the situation, it's pretty awkward because now they're brother and sister. All right, whatever. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be awkward. Meh. I had this marked as a cliffhanger. All caps. Then I watched the rest of it. First of all, yes, dead girl's the other twin. Not even gonna say I called it. Who else would it be? Duh. Second, all the weird stuff I was talking about, it's out of the way in the first 15-20 minutes. It's kind of played for laughs. Okay, whatever. You know, it's an anime. They do weird shit like that. From then on, it's a bunch of scenes with these kids being cute, some really rad animation during the dance number, and thirdly, some honest to God, A1 character development with this fucking idol girl. Normally, I find myself bouncing off of idol shows because they tend to romanticize what is honestly a pretty upsetting and skeevy industry. You know, when these shows do delve into the darker stuff, the stalkers, the depression, the physical and mental tolls on the performers, they usually still end up with a sugary ass, well, I'll keep working to make sure everyone smiles kind of thing. Here, however, Ai possesses a legitimate depth of character that I have not seen in almost any of these other fucking shows. Even the like serious dramas don't always get this level, and I fucking love it. It's so goddamn good. As far as this quote unquote premiere goes though, I struggle where to put it. No spoilers. Holy shit, I could drop spoilers, but no spoilers. The end of this movie, the show it's setting up is pretty fucking different from most of this 90 minutes. Real fucking different. But by the end of it, I really loved it. And it feels weird to rate this as a premiere when it seems to be setting up a semi-off genre show. So if you watch this as a standalone movie, which is how I'm going to rate it, it's top fucking tier. Time and a few more episodes will tell if the weekly program can keep that same level of character writing and animation.
Have you watched the next episode yet?
I don't think it's actually out yet. No, I haven't watched any more of it. For what it is, it's the best thing this season. No doubt. Easy. It's absolutely the tippiest of the tippity tops. And I will go so far as to point out that, now granted, oh my God, this has been out not even a week yet. But if you go on fucking My Anime List and you look up best anime and click over to of all time, it's currently rated above everything, including fucking Brotherhood, which is the next one.
Really?
Yeah, no shit. Now, obviously, it's been out a week. You know, more people will see it, more people will rate it. I assume that to change. It's really fucking goddamn good. And I don't want to tell you anything the fuck else about it.
And what is this on?
It's on High Dive. This one is on High Dive. If you got High Dive, get it. If you don't, try to get you a week fucking trial so you can watch this shit. Even if you just watch it, that first episode, and say, I'm not even going to watch the show, this is a movie. I'm not even going to watch the show, this is a movie. You're in for a fucking amazing story. I really fucking love it. It's got a beginning, middle, and end, and it does set up some more stuff. The story keeps going. You don't have to watch it. It could be shit after this. But that first episode, that 90-minute movie is fucking killer, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut up now because I'm just gonna keep talking, but I fucking loved this goddamn show. Holy shit. And that's our list, baby. We did it.
We did it.
So
You did it, man.
Yeah, Brandon did it.
I
And
just
Roger
clicked and drug.
Roger clicked and drug. We did it.
I found some prospects.
You found something
Not that it's going to be hard or easy to watch much of anything.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess we can go ahead and say the next episode we probably are talking about sequel seasons.
God damn, there's so many
And
fucking,
holy
oh my god.
fuck, dude, there's a lot of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a ton. Fucking Dr. Stone is back. Goddamn Demon Slayer's back. Motherfucking Birdie Wing, baby. Technically it's a continuation of the first season. But Birdie Wing,
Ancient
baby.
Magus' Bride.
Ancient Magus' Bride is back. Should I mean, I watched the fucking dub. Do I wait for the dub?
That's what I'm thinking about doing because Dr. Stone is back and I'm gonna wait for the dub on that.
There you go.
And then apparently there's a short thing, at least a short thing. I don't know if it's another season. I don't remember hearing anything about the season, but Ranking of Kings.
Yes,
something.
there's a new Ranking of Kings thing. It's supposed to be, I think, like less episodes than the previous year. I think it's only like 10. It's like Ranking of
so it's
Kings,
gonna
the
be more
treasure chest or something. Yeah,
Oh,
some kind of treasure thing. I don't
wow.
remember. Sounds interesting. I don't know if that's like, you know, like an actual season, another season, or if it's like a, you know, Elseworlds in between story. Could be anything. I'm gonna fucking watch it. I love Ranking of Kings. So yeah, there's a ton of crazy shit.
Yeah, not to mention Vinland's still going on.
Oh my fucking god, I gotta catch up on so much.
Yeah,
But
I'm only one episode behind on Vinland right now.
Yeah,
I
man.
just haven't seen the newest episode.
I think I'm one back too. But let's go through this list real quick. Snoozing at the Lodge. These ones were kind of boring. Alice Gear Aegis expansion. The Aristocrats Otherworldly Adventure. Working for God who asked too much or some bullshit. Because you don't know, Lely is what I'm going to say. Opus Colors and why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's Mansion. They were kind of boring. Sorry if you loved them. I mean, I'm not completely out on all of these, but they were kind of boring. Glacial Chasm. These ones I just didn't like them. The Cafe Terrace and its goddesses. The legendary hero is dead. Magic Destroyers. My home hero. My one-hit kill sister. A lot of my's in this one. And Summon to Another World for the second time. Cliffhangers. Not out. You know, but yeah, not as good as the rest of these. We got Mashal, Magic and Muscles, Rokudo's Bad Girls, Too Cute Crisis, The Dangers in My Heart, Dead Mount Death Play, I Got a Cheat Skill in Another World and Became Unraveled in the Real World 2, Kamikatsu Working for Gods in the Godless World, too many God shows, The Marginal Service, and World Die Star. Those are, you know, whatever. Doing just fine. These ones I think are actually pretty good. Insomniacs After School, Hell's Paradise, My Clueless First Friend, A Galaxy Next Door, Otaku Elf, Skip and Loafer, and Yuri Is My Job. And finally, the tippitiest toppiest for me, we got My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion. Sorry, everyone. Tengoku something or other is the actual name. You'll have to search for to find that one on Hulu. And, I mean, for sure, my toppity-toppity one, Oshinoko. Fucking great. And that's where we're at. How do you feel about it, big boy?
I feel good, man. I got some prospects, dude. I'll check.
Yeah,
out
man.
some
I think you'd like that
for
love story.
I'll give this guy. I'll sit down and squeeze through that. I'm sure I can.
See if Kat will sit down and watch it with you.
Yeah.
If she can get past that for 20 minutes, then she's in for a ride.
Well, you told her about it last night.
I did tell her a little bit about that.
We
Yeah.
might be able to boom flip it.
Boom flip it. Insomniac After School. I think you'd like that one a lot. Fucking Hell's Paradise. You've heard about that one a little bit. Bad Girls.
What you gonna do?
All right. And that's about it, y'all. No, we're not doing a ramble.
No ramble. I mean, I haven't watched anything yet. I mean, we already mentioned that we played board games.
There you go.
It's been a long time.
We had some fun playing board games. Absolutely. We did say that we fucked over everyone else playing. Should we talk?
We did cheat a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, it's a game called Cosmic Encounter, and we weren't familiar with all. There's some subtleties and stuff.
I played this game a whole lot whenever I was younger,
and yet there's
a few times now. So.
Yes, but there are some things in the rules that aren't completely, explained. So it's easy to fuck up. There was one thing that we had been attacking planets that didn't have anyone on them when we were not attacking when we should have been attacking. We should have been doing card stuff. Basically, you can attack a planet. Other people can go with you on that attack. If they go with you, they get a colony. When you got to get 5 colonies to win. So Roger's at 3 colonies. I and everyone else playing, 4 other fucking people, including me and Roger, plus me and Roger, we're all at 4. I have to attack Roger. I'm like, guys, we can all hold hands and cross this finish line together. There's no reason for all of us not to go in on this attack and win this game. All 5 of us. Sorry, Roger, you're the one getting attacked. I don't have a choice in the matter. And every fucking body, their goddamn greed, their pride, the hubris. They say, I don't need you, Brandon.
The desire to do a solo W.
They said, I don't need you, bro. I'm not sharing this win. There's not enough pizza to split 5 ways.
That's the most wonderful thing about this game is shared wins.
You can share a win. All of us could have gone in on you at once, and everybody, except you, of course, sorry, Roger. You play the game more than anyone. Mm-hmm. So all of us would have won, and they all said, no, fuck you, Brandon. And I'm like, well, that's messed up, man. And then I'm like, Roger, you want to negotiate? We can negotiate. You want to negotiate? Yeah, what do you want to do? Well, you need 2 to win. I need 1 to... I'll give you 2 colonies if you give me 1. Yeah, deal. Everybody's jaw hits the floor. We make the deal. I dragged Roger's ass, and we both crossed that finish line. You know why? Because the good buddies are 4, 4, 4, for life, baby.
Now, unfortunately, later on, we did find in the
We did find out that in the instructions, you can only actually, at most, trade 1 colony for 1 colony. So that isn't actually how the game works. But you know what? There's a lot of other stuff during that game that we should have been doing that we weren't doing. So who can say how we would have ended up
We got
there?
it next time, though.
We got it next time. Yeah. But you know what? I'll fucking take it. Yep. I'll take that W anywhere I can get it.
Especially just seeing everybody's faces.
Bro, it was really just looking to the left and Egg's fucking jaw was out. Like, I thought she was gonna fucking hurt herself how far her mouth was open. She couldn't believe it.
She was about to fucking honk everywhere.
And like the best part is like when I was offering for everyone to like, go in with me and attack you, they're like, no, we've screwed over Roger so much. He's losing compared to all of us. It would be wrong to go against Roger now. And I was like, okay. It would be wrong to go against Roger. You're right. Roger, let's win this bitch. And we did.
Yep.
We fucking did.
And it didn't even take me a single second to think about it. I was like, okay, that sounds good to me.
Quick and easy. Easiest decision he's ever fucking made. And maybe the worst part is that my beautiful girlfriend, Haley, sitting right next to me, next in line to play, has a power that if it gets countered, she automatically wins.
It's so busted, man.
And she has a counter in her hand. All she has to do is get to her turn, attack anyone, and counter her own power, and she automatically wins going to 5. And she didn't get the fucking chance because she was too prideful. Love you, buddy. That's right. We're the champions sitting here.
That's
and
right.
all y'all losers. But not you, our good buddies. You're just listeners and bystanders in this beautiful situation. And if you want to play some games or talk about your favorite board games or your dramatic reversals, I'd love to hear some stories about how you were playing a game and whipped everybody's ass at the last second and pulled victory from the jaws of defeat. By all means, let us know about it. There's a number of ways you can do that. Discord's the easiest one. We also have the comments on the YouTube channel where you may or may not be listening to this. That's Rapid Kick Media. All links in the description. We got other social medias and stuff that we may or may not use. They're all there. You'll find them. And if you are listening to the podcast version of the show, go ahead and leave us 5 stars and a comment. We'd love that. Gets the word out and gets more good buddies in here with us. Thank you so much for listening. We love you all so much. Shout out to our musicians. Thank you, Married with Seamonsters, a.k.a. the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening theme, Paperdoll. They're on Spotify, but that song is only on marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com. Thank you so much. Shout out to our good buddy Haas, a.k.a. Thomastastesbetter, all one word on Instagram, and DUNGEONWITCH on YouTube for the use of our closing theme on the YouTube part of the show, which is called The Buddy's Good. Thank you again, Haas, Thomastastesbetter on Instagram, Dungeon Witch on YouTube. And finally, a shout out to our good buddy, A Petty Theft. That is how it's pronounced. 2 P's at the beginning, 2 T's at the end, Petty Theft, for the use of our closing theme on the audio portion of the show, which we are still calling Sweet Anime Dreams. Thank you again, Petty Theft. One more time for Petty Theft. You can find Petty Theft on Twitter and on SoundCloud at Petty Theft. 2 P's, 2 T's, Petty Theft. And that about does it. Is that a record for the fastest I got through the plugs? I know you were fucking dreading it. You hate the plugs. Yeah, I got through it. So thank you all so much for listening. You got want to take us out on Big Game?
I do, man. I was just doing my best not to forget it.
Well, here we fucking go. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time, probably in 2 weeks, where we talk about some sequel series. And from all of us here at the Good Buddies Anime Universe, I am your good buddy Brandon.
And I am your good buddy Roger. Back girls, what you gonna do?
All right.
I mean, such, in hindsight now, like kind of a shitty show, but damn, what a banger of a theme song. Am I right?
It's a great theme.
It's like maybe one of the most iconic of all time. It has to be, right?
That's that classic like reggae little bing, bing, bing. It's so good.
Back here, what you gonna
I mean, it was Bad Boys. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Love you.